Google Jamboard is a great tool you can use in both a virtual and in an in-person classroom. It's a virtual whiteboard where you can write directly on it. You can add little sticky notes, you can add pictures, you can have different backgrounds like graph paper or different solids. There's lots of different things you can do with it, and the best thing is you can save it for later.
Okay, to get to Jamboard, I'm going to go to my app launcher and scroll down until I get to Jamboard. I can open one that I've already worked on, or I can make a new one. So let's take a look at some of the features on the Jamboard. One of the things that you can do is change the background. So if you want to do something with dots or lines like for writing, or some graph paper, or making the background solid black, I'm just going to keep it at the default for now. Just a few basic tools. You can use the pen tool, and there are some different styles and colors that you can work from, mostly to go ahead and write or to highlight. The eraser tool will erase all of this. Another thing that is easy to do if you just want to erase everything is just hit clear frame. So that's really good if you're demonstrating something, don't need it again, and you just want to delete it. This select tool allows you to move things around once you create them. So let's take a look at a couple of those. This is adding an image, so you can get an image from your device or do a search. So if there's something that you wanted to add a picture and write some notes about it or point some things out. Speaking of notes, sticky note is my favorite tool for this. And there's lots of different things you can do. You can change the color, and then once you have that set, you just can move it around to locate different locations, to point things out, or whatever. This last tool over here is called the laser. So this is, again, really good when you're doing some demonstrations and you just want to point something out, but not do any writing on it. Another cool thing about a Jamboard is you can have more than one frame. So if you have multiple things you're working on for a lesson, but want to keep them organized, you can do that. After you finish your Jamboard, you can, we should save it. But after you finish your Jamboard, you can share it just like you would any Google Doc or slides. So I want to show you a couple unique things you can do with Jamboard. One of the things that you might want to try is using a graphic organizer and going through it as a class. So maybe this is something that you might have put on a flip chart in your room, but this is a way that you can work on it together as a class, but you can still keep a copy. So I can use things like the sticky notes to put any labels I have to put on my graphic organizer. And what's really cool is I can even keep them in different colors. So maybe I'll have something that the teacher adds could be in one color, and then something that the students add could be in another color. And I could just keep working through this. I can also add more pages to it, keep it all together and share it and post it on my LMS or send it through an email or anything like that. So I'm going to do another example of using a graphic organizer with Jamboard. So I put this image of a plant cell diagram on just like I had done with the KWL chart. And ahead of time, I went in and made a couple sticky notes just to save time. So now I can work with my class and drag and drop and put them where they would go. Now, you might find a situation where you're working on these labels and you might think that, well, they take up a little too much space with the color. So you can always go ahead and edit them so they have no color. And when the background has no color, you can manipulate it around on a graphic like this a little bit. Working on finishing this up as a class. And then again, we could share it and they could have it for their study guide.